I really love climate change. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, you have to pressure people, constrain them in order to care about it. But it's a very popular subject, really good with the kids. Apparently, according to this, Bud Brigham, the executive chairman of Brigham Minerals, testified Thursday before the Texas Senate Committee on State Affairs that a Wall Street bank allegedly threatened him to deny him a loan unless he tweeted out specific political messages. This is what I despise the most about modern American culture. I don't know who to trust anymore. Like, you see a Hollywood actor and they're, flapping their mouth and they're telling you about the environment or whatever, or a politician, and you wonder, like, is that literally what's in their brain? Like, is this actor literally, like, thinking at night, oh my god, the world is burning? Oh, or is it like someone paying him to say that, to read a script? In this case, we see that a business person was not paid, but I mean incentivized by a bank in order to tweet something. And of course, he didn't, because he does have convictions. But the Republican Texas State Senator led the hearing on environmental, social, and governance, ESG, investing, an approach to investing that scores companies based on their commitment to certain environmental and social causes. So in other words, for those of you who don't know what ESG is, banks and investors, they want to assess a risk score before lending money. Now, there's various ways of assessing risk scores, but the ways that they're using now is ESG, environmental, social, and governance. So environmental is like, how much does your company care about the environment? Social, how much does your company care about social justice causes? How much do they treat about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that? And governance is how many women you have on your board, how many homosexual people you have in positions of power, right? Like, these create a score, and that's how you can get loans or not, right? So in this case, the bank is actively telling him, look, your ESG score is low. If you raise it by tweeting about environmental issues, then you get money. Of course, the problem with this is that you're not really looking at if a business is profitable or not. So you can have a failing business that says the right things, and then it goes under. So the bank loses money. Now, it's fine if that happens once, but when it happens at a staggering scale, then eventually the banks are going to need a bailout. Because having a high ESG or a low ESG doesn't necessarily say if the business is going to be profitable or not, which is what the investor should be looking at, rather than, oh, well, is this business woke enough? Is it going to help the environment? Apparently, Brigham testified that during a capital raise with Credit Suisse, with whom he claims to have raised over $1 billion over 15 years, the bank instructed him to put out overtly political statement on ESG. The bank said that climate change is real, it's happening, and it's not debatable. I want to point out to people just how evil supporting something like this is. I mean, there's a lot of liberals that think, oh, well, of course, like, good on the bank. I mean, the banks are definitely going to save the world. Like, when you think about kind, compassionate, empathetic people, the bankers are on the top of the list. Imagine if it was, like, first of all, there's no conversation, right? Like, they're not trying to convince this person. It's like, hey, do you not want to read? No, like, it's not debatable, right? Imagine if someone did that to you, like, if it's something you don't believe in, but they're like, no, it's not debatable, you have to. Imagine if you go to a bank and they would say, you need to tweet about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is real, it's not debatable. Right? I mean, there's a lot of people that believe in Jesus Christ. You might even be discriminating if you say that he's not real. I mean, you're going against people's lived experiences. Some people may have seen Jesus Christ into a tomato, and that's their lived experience. So when you contradict them, you're invalidating their existence. You're erasing Christianity if you say that God isn't real. So you gotta tweet that out. Would you like to live in a place like that? Like, most of the times people don't understand that the rules remain the same, but the ideology changes, right? I mean, look at J.K. Rowling. Like, she was part of cancel culture. She enjoyed seeing other people getting canceled for being misogynistic, right? Like, she brought the trust and safety teams on social media, all of that. Now, the rules remain the same. You can still get canceled, but the ideology changed. Now you get canceled if you don't agree that trans women are women, which she doesn't. So now she is about to face the wrath of the people on Twitter. So when you create the idea that it's okay for a bank to basically tell you what to think, what to tweet, like, they're literally making you a slave. That's a problem because, yeah, sure, you like the ideology now. It's great. You know, climate activism, whatever. You don't know what's going to be down the line. Like, you don't know what 20 years down the line is going to be. You may not even like that. But you allow the banks to have the power, to craft the ring of power and say, yeah, it's okay to get business people to tweet whatever the fuck we want. To have, like, this level of control. Like, what? Why on earth? Why do you trust bankers so much? Why do you trust the bank to have this level of control to get business people to tweet stuff that they don't believe in? And it doesn't matter if they believe it or not, right? Like, it's insane. I don't know how anyone can support this. And, like, again, the left, which used to be, like, Occupy Wall Street and the banks are evil, all of a sudden, no, the banks are good because they're supporting our ideology. I can't even, I don't understand what's in the mind of such a person. Brigham also testified that Chinese companies that use slave labor to produce solar panels are given higher ESG rating. Yeah, because it's not about saving the world, right? They don't really care. It's like, oh, well, the same companies that are like, oh, well, you're polluting here, they don't care that the pollution happens in China, right? So like, let me explain to you how it works, right? Like, if you have your own factories in your country, right? Like, that provides labor for the people in your country. And also, like, when you sell stuff, the money comes into the country. Now, apparently that's not good because factories pollute, right? So you have to get rid of them. So you move them to China. China pollutes over there. And then you buy the stuff from China. You buy it and you import it here. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. But this is literally what the whole environmentalist movement is about, right? Like, don't pollute here. Pollute in someone else's backyard. At the end of the day, you know, people still want their iPhones. It's just they don't want the iPhones to be manufactured in the country you're at because it raises the carbon emission. So, yeah, apparently, Bob Brigham testimony gave us a glimpse into how they strong-arm American entrepreneurs. And I'm pretty sure that this is not the only bank, right? Like, this is not the only happening. It's just one guy that came out. But even more than this is happening at a smaller level as well. Like, if you go into a corporation in California now, you got the HR lady that tells people how to think. And if you want to have a job there, you better do what she says. So again, you know, you see a lot of game developers, you see a lot of corporate guys, you know, tweeting on Twitter. Is it really their thoughts or is it like what they're being told to do? I mean, we saw with Disney, a company that promotes women and wants more women in leadership positions. And they have Star Wars, which is empowering women. The moment Gina Carano comes out, says a couple of things the company doesn't like on Twitter, bam, she's out. Right? So it makes you wonder, like, how much of the things that people are tweeting is legitimately what they believe, and how much is it because they're constrained to do? Because I guarantee to you, you know, if your boss comes to your job and says, like, what color is this? It's blue, isn't it? Or you get fired. You know it's not blue. You don't believe it's blue, but you're going to say, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's blue. It's not debatable. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.